have always appreciated people with a good sense of humor.
Yeah.
My father was very, very funny, and I have found that laughter is an anti-anxiety medication that we all really need sometimes. The best comedians are ones who simply say something that's true that we never thought of before. Something that's true and ironic that we maybe never thought of before. There's a really ironic, downright weird dimensions of being a person of faith, trying to be a good person in community. It's just kind of hilarious when you think about the just outlandish notion that we should get together and sing songs and talk to a mysterious force and stand up and sit down. It's just weird, really. And if we let it be a little weird, we can let it be a little bit wonderful. And if we decide that being weird is not within our comfort zone, then we run the risk of becoming totalitarian, saying, this can't be weird, so I have to make it normative. I have to make it what everybody needs. And I think stand-up is so similar to preaching, because stand-up comics, like the really brilliant stand-up comics, just tell true stories in a way that doesn't try to correct for their weirdness. So Eddie Murphy, who I actually think, complicated person, of course, but Eddie Murphy is, I think, in a class by himself when it comes to stand-up. And all of his early stand-up, he even talks about this. I think it was in Delirious, which was, I think, his second album. He talks about how all of his early stand-up was about pooping. And all he did was, like a 10 and 11-year-old, was described pooping in really graphic detail. And people were falling down laughing because of just, first of all, his unflappable descriptions as a younger person. And second, they just are laughing at the familiarity of it. So when I am, for example, giving a talk about leadership and describing patterns of human behavior that are just silly, they're just kind of ridiculous. And yet I'm not saying it in a way that's dismissive of other people because I'm doing the same thing. If people don't find it funny, they're going to find it depressing because it's so intractable. So I'll make some kind of generalization like, oh yeah, here's an example. Oh yeah, the trustee board in most churches is made up of people who have retired, are on a fixed income, and they are so anxious about their own retirement savings that they play that out in the church setting, saying we can't ever spend money on anything ever. And when the pastor wants to go to the meeting to talk about how it actually would be really good for the mission to make some changes to the space, they say that the pastor's not invited.
Yes.
Now, you say yes. I say this in a context of people who are in ministry already, and they thought they were the only ones whose trustee boards did this. Like, do you know one that doesn't do this? For the church custodian or the church musician, where I'm not making fun of them, I'm saying there are patterns.
Yeah.
And systems people, the systems people are so like far into the realm of accepting that there are patterns that there's no offense intended. Saying that, for me as a woman to say there's certain things that you can expect that a woman will say or do, it doesn't mean that I don't respect women. It's that I believe in systems and that there's intergenerational transmission of behavior that doesn't mean you're being sexist or ageist or, in any way dismissive of the humanity of another person. It's just that there are patterns. And honestly, Polly, those patterns are really funny.
Hey fam, it's Polly. If you liked that video, want to join the conversation, be part of this community, click the subscribe button so you don't miss a thing uncommon good. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.